Hello everyone, I am Varun. Welcome back to the Podcast Club, a club run by the students of Faculty of Business Administration, GLS University. Today I welcome you to the podcast episode. So we are going to have a very interesting and one of the trendiest topic, which is Union Budget 2025. So with us we have Dr. Bilu Bakshi, Dr. Neha Misra, and Professor Vinda Dave. Hello ma'am, hello sir.
Hello,
Welcome
Varun.
to the Podcast Club.
Thank you.
सो आप सबको जैसे ही पता है कि जस्ट रिसेंटली आज से कुछ थोड़े दिन पहले यूनियन बजट 2025 अनाउंस हुआ था बाय आवर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर निर्मला सीतारामन. सो उस पे आज हम डिस्कशन करने वाले हैं. द बेसिक एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द मेन क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो पूरी इंडिया की पब्लिक के लिए एंड ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स के जानना है कि व्हाट इज यूनियन बजट, वो क्या होता है एंड लाइक उसके पीछे का क्या प्रोसेस रहता है.
Okay, before talking about the union budget, of course I think my fellow colleagues would be throwing light on that. But before we talk on that, this year's budget specifically themed Sabka Vikas, talking about the growth trajectory of all the sectors, right?
Exactly.
उसमें आप काफी सारे शब्द सुनोगे अभी pertaining to आत्मनिर्भर, talking about Sakshamta, talking about startups, talking about Make in India. So before we go there, the growth trajectory and the ground reality. There's a lot of difference when we talk about the two. But to bridge that gap, we have the union budget, which every year our finance minister comes and she presents. So I think Neha ma'am would be able to throw light on how the budget is prepared. and
Yes,
how-
basically.
So I would first address your first question, that what exactly is a union budget. So if I have to say it in a simple term, I can say Desh ka budget, union budget. Yes.
Of course, exactly.
But technically, if I had to explain it, union budget is the estimate of government's receipts and expenditure for the coming financial year. That means we are talking about from 1st of April till 31st of
March.
Now, this is a very fascinating process how the budget is curated. So, the process of budget starts prior to the presentation of budget. It starts back to 7 to 8 months. That is in the month of August end or September beginning. The budget preparation process starts.
Okay.
There is a circular which is circulated in all the departments and ministries of union government. Now, in this circular, they are asked for their estimates of expenditure, estimates of receipts, their current data. This information is collected. Then the discussion between the union ministries and finance ministries takes place, where various stakeholders are involved, like as we say farmers, business person, industrialists, education sector people, representing people. So various stakeholders' interests are considered. Discussions happen with them. Once this discussion is done, then there is the finance minister takes the final call.
Okay.
But before the budget is freezed for the presentation and the printing part, it is being discussed with the Prime Minister of India, and then it is freezed.
Okay.
Then the very interesting part comes, that is the budget presentation, the budget preparation part.
Okay.
So before 7 to 10 days of budget preparation in the presentation in the parliament, the budget printing process starts. I repeat, before the presentation of budget in the parliament, 7 to 10 days prior to it, the budget printing process starts. And this process is called the lock-in period. Before this lock-in period, there is a ceremony called the Halwa ceremony. After conducting this Halwa ceremony, the employees or the people associated with the printing part are locked in the basement of north block of the parliament.
Okay.
And then the budget printing process starts. So there are machines which are doing this budget printing part. Then on the day of budget presentation, the budget is being taken for the consideration to the President of India. As per the Article 117, the budget considerations are taken from the President, and then the Finance Minister presents the budget in the Parliament.
Okay.
Now, how is this budget being presented, or how is this being taken? So I'll throw some light on that also. So as the word budget, there is no word as union budget in the Indian Constitution. So as per the Article 112 of Indian Constitution, the term is annual financial statement.
Okay.
And this budget word is taken from a French word, bourget. Bourget means a leather bag.
Okay.
So prior to 2019, if you have observed, all the finance minister used to carry the budget documents in a briefcase, leather briefcase.
Yes.
Post 2019, Nirmala Sitharaman ji carried the budget documents in a red cloth emblem on it. Red signifying the auspiciousness that we consider. And of course, post COVID, the budget, as you can see this folder, same kind of folder is there. Of course, on top of it, the emblem is there, and a made in India tablet is there. So the budget has been digitalized after that. That is from 2021. Now we have started presenting the budget in a digital manner.
Okay.
I would like to add one small thing in this
Yes, sir.
history part of the budget, particularly with reference to India.
Yes.
Now, most important and interesting and somewhere around weird also. If you see the history of the budget, generally budgets start at 5:30 in the parliament. Not now. Before BJP government came into the force, budgets start at 5:30. Number one. Number two, budget is declared on 31st March or 30th March. So there was a system that there is a separate budget for railway, a separate budget for country. Because railway's budget is significantly bigger. So Britishers have put a habit that there should be two separate budgets, one for
Railways and
another for
country.
Now, Modi government has made a very good, I would like to say, very fantastic change because of 2-3 reasons. Why budget is supposed to be presented at 5:30? That is the first question. The reason is that when India was under British rule, whenever we start at 5:30 in London, the timing of morning set.
Yes.
So their officers at London can easily check out what is declared and how it has been served in the parliament. That was the objective. Now we are already free.
Yes.
So we are free from that old system. That is one part. Second, another point, that why we are supposed to have two separate budgets.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So they merge that budget with the union budget. And third most important point I would like to bring into the notice, so many businessmen, so many industrialists has made huge profit out of it. I am telling on public platform because I have faced this situation. Suppose budget is declared on 31st March. It is going to be implemented on 1st April.
Yes.
So if there is any change in the duty of petrol or diesel, it will implement on next day.
Yes.
So if duty is increased by 5 rupees, and if I go for 20-liter petrol, so 100 rupees is increased.
Yes.
So due to that reason, whatever the old stock they have at the petrol pump, they are even selling after 12 o'clock at the new price.
Oh.
And we of our generation used to wait for the budget and we go to petrol pump and fill up our tank. So this minute change which may not be known to all these current people, but this was the situation and they have changed it in this parliament and that bring more and more transparent situation. I think.
Yeah, so sir is absolutely right. So earlier, prior to 1999, the budget was presented at 5 o'clock in the evening just to match the parliament over there. But post 2000, Yashwant Sinha changed the time to morning 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And same thing as sir said, we broke the 92-year-old tradition in 2017 by merging the union budget and the railways
budget. Yeah.
And the reason also, I will share the statistics over here. Prior, when we talk about the British era, so 80% of the revenue was generated from this railway budget, post which it came to just 15%. So there was no point preparing those two separate budgets, and that's the reason in 2017 we broke this 92-year-old tradition and clubbed the union and the railways budget. And one more tradition we broke in 2017, that is we started presenting on the first working day of February. That is the reason, because so that the lower house and the upper house can have more time for discussions and changes if needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they say, the change is the only constant. But if it is for
Absolutely.
the good, it has to be done much before, prior, and then the implementation and execution can take place.
Agree.
Definitely.
As ma'am you said, जब बजट पूरा प्रिपेयर हो जाता है तो पीएम को बजट बताया जाता है. सो इफ पीएम को कुछ बजट में चेंज करने को लगा या उनको कुछ चेंज करना है तो क्या वो इम्प्लीमेंट होगा कि इट्स ऑल जस्ट फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर के हाथ में ही होता है पूरा?
ओके सी, ये जितने भी बजट रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन या डेटा कलेक्ट किया जाता है, प्रिपेयर किया जाता है, इट इज़ नॉट डन बाय वन पर्सन. देर आर मल्टीपल मिनिस्ट्रीज एंड डिपार्टमेंट्स prepared. Then the economic affairs department accumulates all this data, considers all this discussion analysis, and then they prepare this budget. But of course, if the Prime Minister of India has any recommendation or changes, those are considered. Then only the budget is freezed for the presentation part. After showing it to the Prime Minister on the day of budget presentation, that morning also, if you see this time also, Nirmala Sitharaman ji went to meet the President of India.
Yes.
So for that also, President is also consulted upon this, and after that approval, the budget is presented in the lower house. And see, budget entirely comes into three process. First one is preparation, second is presentation, and the third one is implementation. So after the presentation, the discussion happens in the lower house, upper house. See, upper house doesn't have any right to vote out on anything. They can discuss, but they cannot vote out. Then after all the discussions, implementation, once the president signs it, then it is considered as a finance bill for the coming financial year. So it is not just one person, I would say, but it is the entire team and multiple stakeholders whose decisions, whose recommendations are considered.
Okay. So my next question would be, what are the key components included in the union budget or the budget of the country? Like उसमें क्या मेजर ऑफ द पार्ट इंक्लूड्स रहता है, वो क्या प्रेजेंट होता है बजट के दिन, क्या प्रेजेंट किया जाता है टू द कंट्री, उसके अंदर क्या क्या इंक्लूडेड होता है?
So every year the budget agenda is different. You can't have the same agenda, whether you are talking about a micro-analysis or for a country, right? So year by year, the areas which need more focus, because we are talking about, like I said, the theme of this year's budget was Sabka Vikas. So we cannot have one particular focus on one sector, or we can just highlight one particular area out here. So talking about the components, of course, there are a lot of areas which have been focused, where I think the key highlights were talking about poverty, talking about AI generation, talking about sustainability, also understanding the unemployment factors, the gig economy, right, which has again boomed recently. So all of these factors, of course, they are there. We talk about healthcare.
Okay.
That again has been so much laid emphasis on. We talk about skilled laborers. Like in economics, we talk about human capital.
Yes.
Equivalent, we are talking about how important it is for you to have, skill, and what area or how the government is ultimately focusing on it.
So far as education is concerned, and ma'am has said about human capital, this time in the union budget, there has been growth in spending for education is about 13%, which is significantly higher. And in that case, I would like to bring into your specific notice that this year, out of 12.8% as overall, 60% is going for developing infrastructure for the education part. Another thing is that we are not at very good in case of lower standard teaching or school teaching, because dropout ratio is significantly higher. At the secondary stage, even today, secondary school, dropout ratio is 14%. So that is a big challenge. Now here, from this one, I would like to recommend one thing. Definitely, teaching is definitely a part of central government. But central government has to tune up their budget along with the state government. So state government has to look into account that one also.
Okay.
Because number of schools which is in your respective state, how it works, what is the regulating authority is doing, if that is not implemented properly, so government's spending in that area will not be reflected in the human skill in that case. And I would like to say you one particular general idea that how much crores has been allocated. 1560 crores has been allocated to Prime Minister Uchchatar Shiksha Protsahan Yojana. 1176 crores has been allotted to National Training Scheme. 655 crores has been gone for National Training Mission. 600 crores from PM Research Fellowship, and 475 to various world-class institutions for infrastructure purpose. So from education side, it is quite good. But more important part and more variable part is that whether we are in a position to encash this amount of allocation, to what
Exactly.
extent we are getting out of it.
One of my question is you said कि एजुकेशन सेक्टर्स में ना बहुत फंड्स allocate किए but still we face brain drain. So many people, so many students like us, at the end of the year or at the end of the day, they go to the foreign countries for the education. So why there is so much? वो लोग क्यों? What is the reason behind कि जब गवर्नमेंट इतना फंड्स के पैसा खर्च कर रही है इन द एजुकेशन सेक्टर्स, तो भी हर साल इन पूरे दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा जो ब्रेन ड्रेन है, वन ऑफ द कंट्रीज इंडिया से बहुत सारे लोग लाइक इन लैक्स बहुत सारे लोग जो है ना बाहर जाते हैं फॉर फर्दर स्टडीज एंड फ्यू ऑफ देम नेवर कम बैक, सो बट क्या रीजन इतना, लाइक इफ गवर्नमेंट नोस ये सब है तो फिर और क्या गवर्नमेंट इसमें चेंज कर सकती है, या फिर क्या पीपल का माइंड इसमें चेंज हम कर सकते हैं, पीपल्स माइंड और माइंडसेट ऑफ द कंट्री.
Skill-based education system is barely required at present. Now, I would like to join this particular point with reference to Make in India.
Okay.
Now, Make in India is fine, good, efficient, effective, but not in every sector. Now, for example, let me give you one example in that case. So, defense budget for border area is useful to uplift the economy of the people who are living in border area.
Yes.
So that is also very good impactful. Now, for your kind information, this time there is an increase in defense budget by 13.2% as compared to
Last year.
last year. It is increased in 4.7. So that means this time 13.2% has been given, which is more by 4.7% rise. Now you will surprised to know DRDO has received a budget of 31,277. So out of this budget, they will develop a new weapon that is majorly required for exporting your equipment. Next, self-defense border area is received 1.14 lakh capital aspects. So capital infrastructure will increase. So defense has been taken care, and from my viewpoint, since last 3 to 5 years, this is the highest allocation in defense. Our condition in defense is just like that. Previously, we are relying upon others.
Yes,
Now others
exactly.
are relying upon us. So this is a drastic change in that case.
Definitely.
Now, yes,
It means defense budget is not just about defense; it includes so many other sectors also and categories also. So
And
it's
empowering
Defense
them.
automatically becomes the backbone of the country.
backbone of the country.
Yes,
So
Exactly.
we can't, just undo it without looking at it. So we
Yeah.
have to make sure that every time things are being allocated, a major portion always goes there in a rightful way.
Rightful.
so defense create. I would like to say Shanti. That will lead to economic upliftment, and that economic upliftment will lead to economy of the country.
Exactly.
I think somewhere strength also, the power
Power.
factor, of course.
The other sector I would like to be focused will be agriculture, because India is a agricultural country and it has a very huge impact in the world, because we are the one of the greatest, or you can say the biggest exporters of the agricultural like foods and all. So your opinion on that?
Agriculture is very depressive from my viewpoint, and its growth is sluggish in last
That's so true.
few years. And